Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. We got some bad news to get to on the injury front for Uchenna Nwosu, among others as well. We'll catch up to speed with everything you need to know on your Seattle Seahawks after yesterday's loss to the New York Giants, coming up in just a matter of moments. Thanks for joining us here on the program. Before we go any further, folks, we are getting so close to 58,000 subscribers on the channel. Despite the loss, we still had an incredible time at our watch party yesterday. If you missed out on the watch party, no need to fear. We'll do it all again coming up on Thursday as the Seahawks take on the San Francisco 49ers. We're live for every single Seahawks game this season, in addition to our daily news and rumors, our live shows on Wednesdays, breaking news, Q&A mailbags, and more. It's all right here on Seattle Seahawks Today. Subscribe now for free, and we'll get started with today's show. Let's begin with the latest on Uchenna Nwosu. He suffered another injury yesterday after his much-anticipated return. Remember, it was his first football game that he's played in the regular season in about a 12-month stretch, about a calendar year yesterday. And then he departed the game early with a thigh injury. Mike Macdonald, the Seahawks head coach, gave an update on his radio show with Seattle Sports this morning and said, there's not a lot of news on this front right now, Brock, referring to Brock Hewitt, who he was talking to. I think Uchenna might be longer than we wanted with his thigh. And then taking it a step further, when there wasn't much news, then there was more news later, as Macdonald in his news conference today confirmed that Nwosu is officially out for Thursday against the San Francisco 49ers, and then they will evaluate his status in the coming days to see where they go from here. And just kind of reading the tea leaves here, obviously we are still waiting on some more information and for more details to come of this once we get more information. But one possibility that was raised by Corbin Smith of SIL Seahawks is the possibility that Nwosu could go to injured reserve. And here's what he had to say, putting this post out on X this morning. Something to consider here. If the Seahawks have to put Uchenna Nwosu on injured reserve, no idea if it's that severe, choosing not to do so earlier opens the door for him to return later this season. If they would have put him on IR to open the year, he'd be out for the rest of the season because of the NFL's injured reserve rules. You can't go on injured reserve twice. So they could have saved themselves a lot of headache there potentially on that front. Now, where do the Seahawks go from here? A tough pill to swallow for Seattle is the reality that you have to prepare for not having Uchenna Nwosu going forward at this point. Even if he gets healthy again and gets back up to full strength, this is now the second time since he's returned from injury in this football season that he's been banged up. Remember, he got banged up in the preseason game against the Cleveland Browns, the preseason finale, and now you have this one here too. If I'm going to be honest here, and as much as I like Uchenna Nwosu, I think he's a fine football player, he's a difference maker, and a huge asset for this Seahawks team, it's kind of given me some feelings of Jamal Adams in a sense of where I just can't count on him to be available with as much as he's getting banged up here. And believe me, we're rooting on Uchenna Nwosu. I want nothing more for him to be healthy and to be a very good football player for this Seahawks team. But here's another injury situation for him again. And if you're the Seahawks, I think you got to be trying to figure out, all right, who do we have to step up and get the job done? Do we need to make a move in free agency? Do we need to make a trade? Is this where you go ahead and try to bring in a Hassan Reddick potentially? I think you have to basically prepare for life without Uchenna Nwosu at this point going forward. Will the Seahawks be okay without Uchenna Nwosu? Weigh in, let us know in our pinned comment today. Why for yes, in for no, if they'll be fine without Nwosu or not. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Whether you're looking for tickets to sporting events, concerts, theater productions, comedy shows, and more, Game Time has got you covered. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They have their super deals. If you see a super deal, that's going to be one you don't want to pass up on. They have their seat views. You can get the visual, see what your seat is like. Maybe you're looking for tickets for Thursday night against the Niners. Maybe you're already looking at tickets to see the Kraken. Whatever it may be, they got it all, folks. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed. Then you choose your seat, see if you like that seat or not with your 3D view, and then you're checking out with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. A link is in the comments and the description of today's video. All right, let's get to some other injury news on your Seattle Seahawks, courtesy of Mike Macdonald, of what he had to say in his news conference today. And there's 4 key injuries that we want to update you on. The knee issue with Boye Mafe. You also have the hamstring injury to Byron Murphy II. Riq Woolen with the ankle injury that he suffered in yesterday's loss to the Giants. And Derick Hall with the foot injury that he also suffered in yesterday's loss to the New York Giants. Not only did they lose, but it was a costly loss at that. Let's go through these piece by piece. Macdonald said that with the short week, although Byron Murphy is making progress to return, he's more than likely going to be out for Thursday night. So no Nwosu, no Murphy more than likely here on Thursday as far as that goes. As far as Woolen and Hall's status for Thursday night, right now, those are still TBD on that. They need to see where their progress is, some further testing as far as their status goes forward for this short week for that turnaround on Thursday. And then Boye Mafe, trying to make his return right now, is a game-time decision for Thursday's game at this point. With the short week, they would, of course, love to have him back. And now you're talking about really being shorthanded at that outside linebacker spot when you factor in Boye Mafe and Uchenna Nwosu and Derick Hall. They are very short when it comes to those pass rushers right now. They would love to have them back and see if they can get any of these guys back for Thursday. We will see. Meanwhile, the PUP list. Been a while since we updated you what's going on with Abraham Lucas and with Jerrick Reed. Both those players, of course, missing the start of the season with knee injuries. We have not seen them at all this offseason. Lucas with what was dubbed the chronic issue by Pete Carroll, had surgery back in the early portion of the offseason. Meanwhile, Jerrick Reed coming off that torn ACL he suffered back in November. Brady Henderson of ESPN putting this out on X from Mike Macdonald. Macdonald doesn't think right tackle Abe Lucas or safety Jerrick Reed will start practicing this week. Once a player on PUP starts practicing, he must be activated within 21 days. So teams have to be calculated when they open up that window. Doing so on a short week usually doesn't make sense. So it'd be very surprising if they did so. Doesn't really add up for Seattle here. Realistically, I think when it comes to Abe's spot, you're looking at timing this up with the bye week. If Abe Lucas can come back after the bye week and use the bye week as part of his window to return to get healthy, I think that could make a lot of sense for this Seahawks team. I know Stone Forsythe has had his struggles as of late. Obviously, George Fant is on IR as well. And you got Jason Peters, who potentially could be activated as early as this week against the San Francisco 49ers here. You need all the help you can get. Abraham Lucas, we have not seen at full strength really since that 2022 campaign when he had a pass block rate of 69.6, an overall grade of 68.5, a run block rate of 65.1. If he can come back and even do that, the numbers that he put up in 2022, I think this Seahawks team would take that at this point with how much they've struggled at that right tackle position. Meanwhile, with Jerrick Reed, think about this. The Seahawks are looking at about an 11th month stretch since he last played a down of football. And with where the Seahawks are at in their safety room, I think they're pretty comfortable with what they've seen out of Julian Love and with Rayshon Jenkins. Jenkins, of course, with that huge 101-yard scoop and score touchdown yesterday, and then Kobe Bryant there as well. That what they're looking for Jerrick Reed when he comes back is to play that role that he had on special teams last year as a runner when it comes to those kick returns and punt returns and all that. That's where they would use him. I don't think that they would have many plans to use him primarily with the first-team defense as far as that goes, but we'll see when it comes to Jerrick Reed. Before we go, now that the Seahawks have lost another game, sitting at 3-2, still in first place in the NFC West right now, what is your confidence level in this Seahawks team after the loss to the Giants? I know it hurts. I know it was demoralizing to lose to a bad team like the New York Giants here. But where do you feel about this team right now? I still feel pretty good about where this team is headed. I know they're certainly going to be tested here on Thursday against the San Francisco 49ers. Maybe I'm over-optimistic, but I'll go about a 7 out of 10. Give me your confidence level, how you feel about this Seahawks team after yesterday. We are keeping you covered here on Seahawks Today with the latest happenings on your favorite team all season long. Quick turnaround as we get ready for the San Francisco 49ers. We'll be live for that game coming up on Thursday night and keep you posted on everything going on with your Seahawks in the lead up to that game. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. I'm Tyler Jones. Keep it locked in here. We'll see you next time.